Yarborough's husband, Stan Yarborough, is charged with murder. He is the former principal of Somerville High School. He's being held without bond. A celebration of life is set for Sunday for Dr. Emily Clyburn. She's the wife of Congressman James Clyburn. She died Thursday morning. It begins at 5 on Sunday at Brooklyn Baptist Church in West Columbia. Services will be at 11 Monday morning, Morris Brown AME in downtown Charleston. The Clyburns met in jail after a civil rights protest while attending SC State. Emily Clyburn was 80 years old. A South Carolina soldier is in a medically induced coma. An Army fuel tank ran over William Proctor in Italy where he was stationed. His mother says it crushed her son's pelvis, spleen, and bladder. He also has 2 broken arms and chest injuries. Doctors are operating in Germany, and the Gaffney community raised money so his mother could be there.
Speechless, the support that I've received from people, the calls, the texts, the people stopping by, just showing their love for him, their concern.
In just one day, the community nearly tripled the amount of money needed to help Proctor's mother travel to Germany to be by his side. And if you think you may have been exposed to hepatitis A at a Goose Creek Waffle House, today is the last day to get your free vaccine. You can go from now until 4 today at the Goose Creek Health Department. You don't need an appointment. DHEC says an employee at the Goose Creek Boulevard Waffle House tested positive for Hep A on Monday. The agency says that the risk of getting hepatitis A in this situation is pretty low, but they suggest getting a shot if you think you were exposed between August 24th and last Friday. The group that splintered from the Episcopal Church in South Carolina can no longer use the name Diocese of Charleston. They also cannot use the church's seal. In a ruling handed down Thursday, a federal judge said the group infringed on the Episcopal Church's marks. The judge also said they committed false advertising because their leader called himself Bishop of the Diocese. Liberty Steel Mill is preparing to meet with Georgetown City Council and Mayor Brendan Barber. Right now, they're scheduled to meet October 3rd to discuss rezoning 55 acres. City Council postponed that vote last night. Liberty wants them to change from redevelopment to high industrial.
It's not that we're not going to keep the zoning we have, just asking for a chance to go ahead and talk to them to explain what's in the document. And I'm not going to back up off of that.
City Council also voted against a pay raise for itself and the mayor, and it would have brought pay to $9,000 for council members and $12,000 for the mayor. Replacement benefits will be available tomorrow for SNAP recipients who lost food to Hurricane Dorian. They will be automatically replaced if you live in Berkeley, Charleston, and Dorchester counties, along with some zip codes in Carlton, Georgetown, and Williamsburg counties. And if you do not live in the included zip codes, you have until October 7th to apply for your benefits to be replaced. For more information, including a list of zip codes, you can head to our website, counton2.com. Carlton County School District announced the makeup days for Dorian. January 6th is now a regular school day. February 17th is now a professional development teacher work day. And the other 3 days will be on the makeup days on the calendar. They are November 4th, March 20th, and April 10th. Right now, South Carolina lawmakers are figuring out how to pay to fix our interstates. One section of I-26 in Charleston has seen an increase of 30,000 cars per day. So a new Senate subcommittee is figuring out how to repair and maintain the interstates. They're exploring options like putting tolls on I-95. The subcommittee is new, so they haven't met yet. Each member represents a different area with a major interstate. News 2 is your local election headquarters. You will use new voting machines when you go to vote this November. So we looked into how they work. First, you put a blank ballot in, then you select your choice. Once you do that, you must review it and then print it. It has to be scanned and dropped into a secure bin.
If you carry it off with yourself, you actually did not vote. You need to have it inserted into the scanner and dropped into the bucket. So if there is a question, they can pull it out and hand count all the votes again.
You also must verify your registration. We have details about how to do that on our website, counton2.com. Candidates across the Lowcountry are squaring off in a debate. Last night, all 6 Charleston mayor hopefuls answered your questions. Nearly half were about traffic. They also focused on infrastructure, flooding, and prioritizing West Ashley's growing needs. News 2's Carolyn Murray moderated the event. It's Friday, and that means it's time for some high school football. Our game of the week, Fort Dorchester at Berkeley. Our other big games, Stall at Goose Creek, Somerville at Cane Bay, Ashley Ridge is heading to James Island, and Bishop England is at Timberland. You can tune in for highlights during our Blitz on 2 on News 2 at 11. We're also looking ahead to tomorrow's college games. The Clemson Tigers take on UNC Charlotte in Death Valley at 7:30. The Gamecocks head to Missouri. That game kicks off at 4. And the Citadel takes on Charleston Southern tomorrow night at 6. This is happening at Johnson Haygood Stadium. Let's not forget, South Carolina State does not have a game until October 5th. North Charleston's oldest community homecoming reunion weekend kicks off today. Current and past residents of Liberty Hill will share their history. The community sits between I-26 and 526 and was established back in 1871 when 4 freed men bought the property.
People were connected to each other. They loved each other. No one suffered. No one harmed each other. Doors could be left open. And we want to kind of bring back that kind of community sense that we had back then.
It all begins with a gospel concert and worship service at 7 o'clock tonight. There will be seminars, workshops, and exhibits from 9 to 5 tomorrow. And Sunday there's going to be a dinner and fellowship from 1 to 3. All events are at the Felix Pinckney Community Center. Somerville is the birthplace of sweet tea, and the Sweet Tea Festival is this weekend. The free event goes from 3 to 9 tomorrow. You do have to pay to taste sweet tea. The official 2019 Sweet Tea Festival mugs lets you drink tea all day long. There will also be a child's cup that costs $1. And now's the time to sign up for the Big Obstacle Challenge happening tomorrow. Participants must complete 10 obstacles before crossing the finish line. The event goes from 8 till 11 tomorrow at Summers Corner in Somerville. All proceeds go to STEM opportunities in classrooms right here in Dorchester County. Severe flooding continues this morning after Tropical Storm Elma dumped more than 2 feet of rain in Texas. Plus, gas prices could continue to fluctuate after the attack on oil fields in Saudi Arabia. Why the White House says there's no need to worry, and a look at what we're paying right now coming up. What's left of Tropical Storm Imelda still isn't done, as parts of Texas are underwater, with some places getting more than 40 inches of rain. Here's Ed Lavandera.
Southeast Texas underwater.
There's been a lot of water that has fallen on this city.
still reeling after a tropical depression hammered the area. Residents were frantically trying to escape the rising waters. In Beaumont, airboats surveying flooded streets for those stranded.
Are you coming with us? We might not be able to come back, folks.
Houston's police chief was going door to door to help residents secure their homes and evacuate. Local officials scrambling to help everyone they could.
We were in the car and the water was rising pretty fast. So I got out and saw the police standing on the bridge, and I started screaming and they started screaming back, and they came all the way down to the car and walked us back up here.
In Harris County, hundreds of high water rescues. But tragically, one man lost his life after driving into nearly 8 feet of floodwaters.
The vehicle continued to go forward. It did come to a pause, and according to witnesses, for some unknown reason, he just punched it and tried to drive through it some more.
Roads turned to rivers, cars stranded on Houston highways, drivers forced to abandon their vehicles.
I feel all right. I was on my way to the dentist.
Okay. This was pretty bad. It's so much in so fast a time.
People struggling in neck-deep water. This man was spotted floating down this street. One couple in Jefferson County received this huge scare, spotting an alligator in the floodwaters near their home. That county has received more than 40 inches of rain.
The most wild thing I have ever seen. Like, this is so much worse than Harvey.
Wow, definitely pretty crazy to see that, Josh.
That's the reason that you will hear me say time and time again. One thing that will get under my skin more than anything is when I hear someone say it's just a tropical depression or it's just a Category 1 hurricane. Each storm has its own personality, and we knew with this one, even before it had a name, we knew this was going to be a big rainmaker. Name or not, the results are the same, and that's why it's so important to pay attention to impacts, not necessarily strength or classification of some sort of tropical system. It's amazing to see that video that's actually happening again in the same spots where we saw that with Harvey just 2 years ago.
And you're seeing the floodwaters, the comparison, the alligator,
oh
crazy
yeah,
stuff like that.
Because you're flooding all these bayous that are all that wildlife, snakes, alligators, all that, they're now in the floodwater, adding to hazards.
Wow.
It's not a good situation there. I've got some friends that live in that area, and it's really, really bad. Let's show you what's going on right now as we take a live look. We almost feel guilty about what we're dealing with here with all of the sunshine and pleasant temperatures. 77 right now at News 2 Studios. Elsewhere around the low country, it's 73 in Kingstree, 75 right now in Moncks Corner, 75 Johns Island, 74 Folly Beach, and 75 Walterboro. Here is your planning forecast for today. Most of us are going to go in the upper 70s, low 80s with a northeast wind at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Might be a stray shower trying to sneak on shore, and we're already seeing a couple of those out over the water this morning. Everything has stayed off the coast so far. We'll see if we can get one or two of those to sneak on shore. We're just going to put a 20 to about a 30% chance of a shower in the forecast this afternoon. And again, that's mainly going to be right along the immediate coastline. They may try to head inland, but I really have a hard time buying that this is going to be able to overcome all that dry air that's entrenched west of 17. Might be able to do it, but I think the best chance for any shower would be right along the coastline. 74 right now, Folly Beach. You'll head in the upper 70s to around 80 this afternoon. Rip current alert in place. Still dealing with a lot of swell energy from Umberto that's still coming toward the coast, plus that northeast wind. That's why the rip current threat's in place. Passing clouds overnight, it will be comfortably cool with east winds at 5 to 10. We'll be in the upper 50s, low 60s back inland, mid 60s closer to the beaches. Another nice start to the day. Now tomorrow, afternoon highs going up to 86. It's going to be sunny and warm tomorrow. Notice tomorrow night's lows around 64. Refresher here. 65 or higher is when the air starts to feel a little sticky, okay? That's when we start seeing dew points in the low to mid 60s. When they're in the mid and upper 60s, that's when the overnight low goes to 70 or warmer. That's when you really feel the discomfort in the air. And you can see we're still below that 70-degree threshold through Tuesday, but look at those temperatures warming up to summer-like levels by Monday into Tuesday with tons of sun. Let's unveil that 10-day. We're back into the low to mid 90s Wednesday and Thursday with overnight lows back up into the low to mid 70s. That means you're going to feel the humidity and feel the discomfort as we head toward the middle part of next week.
Gas prices could continue to fluctuate. AAA says since Saturday's attack on Saudi Arabian oil fields, crude oil prices have gone up $8 to $9 a barrel. AAA says how long facilities are down in Saudi Arabia could impact how long prices stay up at the pump. But White House says there's no need to worry because of how much oil is produced right here in the States.
In 2019, we're going to produce approximately 13 million barrels per day. And in 2020, that's going to jump to, roughly 13.5 million barrels per day.
We looked at how exactly this is affecting what you're paying right now. And according to AAA, the national average is $2.66 per gallon. Right here in South Carolina, we pay about $2.35 a gallon on average. In the Lowcountry, you can expect to pay $2.33 a gallon. All of the prices I mentioned are for regular gas. And tomorrow you can learn about resources for seniors. A senior resource summit goes from 10 to 2. This is happening at the Mount Pleasant Senior Center. There will be information and education exhibits, health screenings, and a light lunch. News 2's Octavia Mitchell will serve as the MC for tomorrow's event. The Trump administration says getting kids involved in sports is key to strengthening the workforce. Details on how after this short break. Money is on the way to make sure all children can play sports. Presidential advisor Ivanka Trump and baseball all-star Johnny Damon unveiled the first of its kind National Youth Sports Strategy. The goal is for state and local governments to team up with schools and families to expand youth sports.
This is increasingly important to girls as well, who are disproportionately underrepresented.
And racial and ethnic minorities, and kids from low-income communities, and kids with disabilities.
Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar says this initiative can help level the playing field by removing equipment costs and other barriers. And if you're one of those people who likes to pass time playing on your iPhone, Apple just launched a game subscription service aimed at you. Here's Liz McLaughlin with more.
Battle a monster under the sea, do tricks on a skateboard, even play with augmented reality.
You get that ghost.
All part of Apple's newly launched subscription game service, Apple Arcade.
For $5 a month, I feel like you're definitely getting your money's worth.
With 100 exclusive new games.
Made for iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Apple TV.
A curated library that could help casual gamers cut through the nearly 1 million games now in the App Store.
Actually finding something good is becoming increasingly hard just because there's so much volume of new content.
Traditionally, users either pay a fee to download a game or face ads and in-app purchases on free games. Apple Arcade aims to simplify that model.
Your subscription lets you download and play any Apple Arcade game.
Some experts expect game subscriptions to see the same success as streaming TV.
100% you're going to see other people getting into this.
Google's Stadia is set to launch in November, a multi-platform cloud gaming service with a pro tier that will cost $10 a month. Console game subscription services are already offered from PlayStation, Xbox, and EA.
The caveat is a lot of people suffer from what we call subscription fatigue.
On top of services like Netflix and Amazon Prime, Apple hopes its offering will entice consumers to add $5 more to the monthly bill. Liz McLaughlin, NBC News.
Friday's Pets on 2, sponsored by Ashley Home Store.
Now let's meet Pet Helpers Pet of the Day with Jennifer Howard and Colin Egglesfield. Thank you all for being with us. And Jennifer, who is this cutie?
This is Merlot. She is about 8 weeks old. She'll be available maybe on
I might be adopting her.
on Sunday. She came to us when she was about 3 weeks old. She was found as a stray, went straight into foster care because they were in such bad condition. But all of her siblings have actually been adopted.
Oh, wow.
She's the last one left, and she's such a sweetie.
So she's looking for a good home, but I know Colin here really has his eyes on her.
Yeah, she might be coming back to Chicago with me, so. And her name may be changing from Merlot.
Okay, yeah, we talked about Betty a little bit earlier, so we'll keep you guys updated on that. But Colin, you're actually here for a great cause. We want to talk about your book a little bit. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I recently wrote this book. It's called Agile Artist, and it's essentially everything that I've learned in the entertainment industry, working out in Los Angeles, Hollywood, and New York. And it's all the stuff that I wish I would have been told when I was in my 20s, first starting out in life. Not just in the acting industry, but just life in general.
So it sounds like a great book. We've been talking about it throughout the morning. Tell me how the proceeds and how this book is actually helping Pet Helpers.
So we're doing an event today. So if you guys are here in Charleston, South Carolina, portion of the proceeds go to Pet Helpers. And Jen, you can tell us a little bit more about what you guys do and the luncheon. Yeah.
So the luncheon's today at 11:30. A portion of the ticket sales are going towards Pet Helpers, and it's going to be held at Hall's Signature Events.
And you have another event I want to touch on coming up in late October. What's that?
Yep, October 26th. It's the Fur Ball. So this is Pet Helpers' annual gala. So this is going to be a really great evening of dressing up, dancing, fun, pets,
fur
and
balls.
Fur balls. So I'm hoping to be back here for that as well. So you can get your tickets. Is it Pet Helpers?
PetHelpers.org.
Okay, and for today's event, when, where do people need to go?
11:30, Hall's Signature Events.
Okay, and if someone wants to adopt, I think her new name is Betty.
Yeah, no one's adopting Betty. I'm taking her with me.
You can head on over to Pet Helpers. Well, thank you guys so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
A recall for thousands of 2018 Chevy Malibus with 1.5-liter Turbo 4 engines. The plan available for anyone who paid to fix an issue out of pocket coming up. We're going to go ahead and take a look at what's trending on the Count On 2 app. Hurricane Hugo, remembering the storm 30 years later. South Carolina State University lifts a lockdown after an early morning shooting injures at least one student. And a Charleston County deputy is seriously injured in an early morning crash.
Stay in the know on the go with the News 2 app, sponsored by Hendrick Honda. Now, count on 2, live and local in the Lowcountry. This is News 2 Midday.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for joining us on News 2 Midday. I'm Temple Ricky.
And good morning. We've got a nice day on the way. Let's show you what's going on right now as you're heading out the door for the lunch hour. We're in the mid-70s. I tell you, Temple, this is pretty good.
I
You
like
can't
those
beat
numbers.
this. You really can't beat this. We'll see if we can a little bit, though, but I can tell you right now, this is pretty tough to beat. Nice and dry yesterday. Today in the Muggy Meter, we're in the comfortable zone. As we head through the day today, you'll notice just a little bit of an increase in humidity, but it's not going to be awful, okay? It's still manageable. As we look ahead at what to expect this afternoon, we're up into the low 80s. Look for a good mix of sun and clouds. I cannot rule out a stray shower this afternoon along the coastline. Most of us are going to be dry. And then as we move into the evening hours, we're talking low to mid 70s at 8, low 70s at 10, and around 70 as we head toward midnight. All right, and looking ahead of the weekend. I mean, there's just nothing else to say. Just look at this. 86 both tomorrow and Sunday. And here's the thing. Even though the normal high is 84, we're going to be right above that both days. This is going to be dry, okay? The humidity is going to stay where it is right now, maybe go up just a little bit, but it's not going to be awful. So we're going to be sunny, very warm, hardly a cloud in the sky, cool mornings in the low 60s, low humidity. I mean, I'm done. That's how I look at it at this point. Enjoy this, because we got changes coming next week.
The weather up there. It's going to be a great day. Just giving you an extra look at that. NBC's Keir Simmons reports from London, one part of the global demonstration calling for action on climate change. The protests come ahead of the UN Climate Summit in New York.
Hey there, good day to you. Here on the streets of London there are thousands, and on cities across the UK, and this is just one part of a global demonstration from Japan to Senegal to Bangladesh. Across Europe there are people out on the streets. We think there are thousands here. Some of the demonstrations in other parts of the world not as big as that, but a powerful message collectively. Another thing you notice is how young the demographic is here. Many people who, you have to assume, don't always go on protests and holding banners that are not your average kind of protest banner. So just take a look here. If the earth was cool, I'd be in school. Another one, I'm sure the dinosaurs thought they had time too. So people competing for who can come up with the most creative protest banner and sending a message wherever they live that they're very worried about where they live. Keir Simmons, NBC News, London.
A count on 2 consumer alert, a recall for thousands of 2018 Chevy Malibus with 1.5-liter turbo 4 engines. A software glitch could disable the fuel injector. This could cause the engine to stall. Chevy is contacting owners about a free fix. A reimbursement plan will also be available for anyone who paid to fix the issue out of pocket. An entire house built in less than 31 hours. How awesome is that? Habitat for Humanity and Hunter Quinn Homes will dedicate the home built in Moncks Corner tomorrow. The company reached out to about 4 dozen of its subcontractors and other vendors for help. Every single person joined the project.
And you're there with the person that's going to get it. It's the words can't describe it. It's been such a blessing for our company to participate in this.
So awesome. Habitat for Humanity says it typically takes them 4 to 5 months to build a home. Construction continues today on a new fire station in Charleston County. Crews are building the new Allendale-McClellanville Station 7 on Garens Bridge Road, which is off of Highway 17. When done, it will serve Paradise Island, Woodville, and Highway 17 between Bulls Bay and Ondaw. And it's that time of the year again, News 2's Cool School. We're also going to have Cool School teacher segments, and all of those are starting soon, so we want to hear from you. These segments are weekly stories highlighting positive programs in Lowcountry schools. We're the station you can count on to highlight the many great things taking place in your schools every week. Last year, we highlighted more than 30 schools and teachers in Charleston, Berkeley, Dorchester, Georgetown, Carlton, and Williamsburg counties. Schools and teachers implementing innovative ideas and successful programs. Send in your nominations by email to Count on 2's Octavia Mitchell at omitchell@wcbd.com. Your school or teacher may be featured. Stick with us. You're watching News 2 Midday. A new death linked to vaping. The 8th death was reported in Missouri. Officials expect that number to rise as they search for answers as to what exactly is causing the illnesses connected to vaping.
Patients may not even know what's in the products that they've been using. Patients may have been using a number of products, and they may not know which is the one or more that led to the injury they're experiencing.
The CDC reports there are at least 530 confirmed and highly probable cases in 38 states. More than half of the people who have reported illnesses are under the age of 25. Experts say no one substance or product is linked to all cases. The FDA launched a criminal investigation. It focused on the cause of all the illnesses and the chain of supply. The agencies say no charges will be brought against those who personally use the products.
To Your Health, sponsored by Whitlock Opticians and Daughters.
St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital introduced some much anticipated new employees that will be a part of a new program for St. Jude patients. Chris Luther was there for the big reveal and tells us how the employees will be helping the kids in the hospital.
Hundreds of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital employees waited anxiously for the much anticipated introduction of new employees that are starting a brand new program at the hospital.
Today is their first day, so it was a huge deal for our hospital to see the program get kicked off.
These employees are not like the doctors, nurses, and scientists already on the St. Jude campus. They walk around on 4 furry legs. Meet Puggle, a golden retriever, and Huckleberry, a golden doodle. The 2 newest hires are trained service dogs, starting up the Paws at Play program.
He has been working his whole life for this role.
Puggle and Huckleberry are under 2 years old and have been professionally trained since they were 4 days old. They'll be helping St. Jude patients each day handle the stress and hardship of their treatment with things like MRIs, taking medications, and even getting back to walking again.
It can sometimes be hard due to pain after surgery or just that fear of walking following a surgery. And so we'll work closely with our rehab team and give them a little bit of motivation to take Puggle for a walk.
That dog has a therapeutic goal when it walks into the room. And so that dog is seeing 4 to 6 patients a day.
When Puggle and Huckleberry are on campus, they're working. They've even been given their own ID badges. Each day, the dogs have a clear objective.
We want those dogs to go in there and make this the best day that they can for the children.
Provides a little bit of positivity while they're here and some joy despite going through their treatment.
There's already discussions about expanding to include even more adorable, highly trained pups.
I love that story. You can find Huckleberry and Puggle on Instagram. Just search for St. Jude Paws. A new study says using hand sanitizer gives people a false sense of security. For example, if you blow your nose and then put hand sanitizer on your hands, it probably won't kill cold and flu bugs. According to the study, it's because your fingers are still wet with mucus. However, the results of a new study are in contrast to many others showing ethanol-based disinfectants are effective against the spread of germs.
Taking a look at Storm Team 2 radar right now, we're all clear. We still may see a stray shower try to make it onshore this afternoon, but right now most of us are looking pretty good. We can find a few showers down along the lower coast of South Carolina headed towards Savannah. We'll be back on the other side of the break with a look ahead at the Low Country's only 10-day outlook, and we'll plan your weekend for you. Stick around.
All right, Josh. Well, I'm really liking the numbers you've been showing us today in the 70s, 80s.
Yep.
It's my kind of vibe right there.
I think so, and I don't see anybody really having a problem with this until probably next week when we get flung right back into summer. Now, fall begins Monday, okay? That's the first day of fall. Next week's a full week. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to look like August.
It's going to creep up there?
Oh, I mean, we're going low 90s. I would not be surprised if we're flirting with 94, 95 by the middle part of next week again. This is going to be a hot 2 to 3 weeks ahead of us, we think, based off of the signals that I'm seeing right now. We'll see if we can get a quick little cool down like this in there, but I really do think above normal temperatures are going to run the table. 79 degrees right now outside of News 2 Studios under a mostly sunny sky with a few scattered clouds outside. 75 in Kingstree, 77 Waldoboro, 76 Charleston, 74 Folly Beach, and 79 in Mount Pleasant. Today's forecast highs around 80 to the low 80s with a northeast wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Could be a stray shower or two, but for the most part, I think we're going to be all right this afternoon. And the radar is confirming that. We've had a few isolated showers try to brush the beaches this morning, but they have been unsuccessful to this point. Now, a little bit farther south, we've got some down south of Edisto Beach and down towards Savannah, but even these, once they move onshore in Beaufort, they're really not making any inland progress. So look for a mainly sunny to partly cloudy sky this afternoon. Highs will be in the low 80s, and again, that slight chance of a shower. As we look at the high-resolution forecast model, a few isolated showers popping up between 1 and 3. Again, I just got a really hard time buying that these are going to make it west of 17, even if they make it onshore. There's so much dry air still in place. That thickness, that thick layer of dry air is there, and it's just going to be really tough for anything to make it through it other than maybe an isolated neighborhood or two. But we'll watch it for you. Just don't get caught off guard. You can see some of the clouds are starting to roll in here off the ocean. Folly Beach right now at 74. Ocean's still a little rough too. We've had a lot of reports of rip currents this morning, especially over the south coast, down toward Beaufort and then out toward Tybee Island on the Georgia coast today. But still, there's a decent risk of rip currents here. We have that rip current alert in place. We'll be in the upper 70s at 1 o'clock, around 80 at 4, 77 at 7. Water temperature at 81. Northeast winds at 10 to 20. Comfortably cool overnight with passing clouds. An east wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll be in the upper 50s, low 60s back inland. Low to mid 60s out toward the coastline with that east wind. Looking ahead, tomorrow and Sunday, mid 80s. Tons of sunshine both days. As we look at the overnight lows down to the low to mid 60s. One thing to keep in mind here, okay? Easiest way to know if the humidity is going to be a problem or not is the overnight low. If the overnight low is 65 or higher, it's starting to get a little uncomfortable. You'll notice the humidity. 70 or higher, it's very uncomfortable. Look at what happens here over the next 10 days. Those overnight lows steadily climbing. Afternoon highs going up into the low to mid 90s. Overnight lows going to 70 or higher by the middle of next week. That means summertime comes back at us. So it's going to be a little uncomfortable here as we head toward the middle of next week. With the cooler months here in the low country, sometimes we dream of a little taste of the Caribbean. Well, what if I told you didn't have to leave? You could do it right here. We're at Fuel for this week's Low Country Eats.
Low Country Eats, sponsored by Old Charleston Trading Company.
Cheers. Back in the kitchen at Fuel in downtown Charleston with the owner-operator of this awesome spot. By the way, if you haven't been in here, it's such a cool little place to walk into. Josh Broom with us. Today we're doing your famous jerk chicken sandwich, which, by the way, he's giving me the list for the marinade. I counted, you got 35 ingredients all in this bottle, which is hard to replicate, all right? And that's what makes this so special.
It's prep intensive, but I think it really translates in the end product, so it's something we're proud of.
Get ready to build the sandwich, put a little bit of a toast on that bread too.
Yeah.
Looks awesome. All right, what's next?
Hit this bottom here with some of this cilantro mojo. We're gonna go next with the our jerk chicken there. Bacon over here that we were getting crispy earlier. Gonna grab our pineapple over here next. Fresh lettuce here. Slices of good tomato, our delicious plantain fritters over here. They just pair perfect with the sandwich. Some dark rum, brown sugar, a little bit of heavy cream. We just kind of reduce it down, makes a delicious little rum sauce. Just finish these guys off. And a little explosion of flavors there.
Food's on the table. Josh, I tell you, it's kind of funny to sit here and think about. This used to be an old Esso station.
That's the cool thing about Charleston. You know, so many of these old buildings have like such interesting history.
And then you walk through that and you've got this awesome outdoor setting, which is just kind of like a tucked away urban oasis that you really never even know was there. The food, the atmosphere, I tell
Thank you.
Next time you want to come out and have a great little escape from the city life, you don't have to go far. Come on down to Cannon Street and I'll see you at Fuel.
Well, thank goodness it's Friday. Lots of events happening in the Low Country this weekend. Some you won't want to miss. We have those on your screen. You can check out the details and when and where these events are taking place. Take a look. The Carolina Children's Charity is putting on their 16th annual 5K partial trail run and family fun walk tomorrow. The event benefits children in the Low Country with birth defects and childhood diseases. Other family activities include jump castles, local mascot appearances, live music, and more. The event runs from 9 a.m. to noon at Palmetto Islands County Park. And get ready to enjoy brunch with a Low Country author, all for a great cause. You can attend the Wine, Women, and Wisdom Low Country Author Brunch with Katie Sullivan Maslin to benefit Friends of Fisher House. It's happening tomorrow from 10 in the morning until noon on the Isle of Palms. And the 4th annual Hope Walk Against Domestic Violence is tomorrow. Runners and walkers will come together to raise awareness to fight domestic violence. The Hope Walk will begin on the Charleston side of the Ravenel Bridge and end on the Mount Pleasant side. The event begins at 8 a.m. and will last until 11. The annual Sea and Sand Festival is happening this weekend. Foley's longest running festival returns for its 29th year. A day of fun in the sun includes food, art, and even a sandcastle competition. The fun kicks off tonight with the 6th annual Miss Sea and Sand pageant. Tickets are $6 online and $10 at the door. Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk is this Saturday. The event celebrates those and supports those diagnosed with breast cancer. Registration is $20. Everyone who raises $100 or more will get a free t-shirt. The walk begins at 9 in the morning at Riverfront Park in North Charleston. For more information, you can head on over to our website, counton2.com. All you have to do is click on the Community tab that's located in the section News. Stay with us. You're watching News 2 Midday. Okay, listen up. We have an interesting story for you. Apple is trying to trademark the Slow-Fee. This means a slow motion selfie. It's a feature on the new iPhone 11. That means Apple probably thinks it will become a new social media craze. The application cost $400. So it could potentially be a bargain if the Slow-Fee becomes the next selfie. I know Josh is over here pondering it. You like the idea?
Yeah, I do. I just wonder if it's going to be one of those things where we're like, okay, enough. Enough. But you know what? If they put in the application for the trademark on that, they know in research and development it's going to be a big deal.
Oh, definitely do their homework on that.
I mean, if they do it, I'll use it. Let's be real. Who won't?
All right, everyone, make sure to stay up to date with Josh's social media for the Slow-Fee.
That's right. At Josh Marthers on Instagram, Twitter,
oh my gosh,
and on Facebook. 82 degrees, pleasantly warm. Thanks for allowing me to do that plug there. You teed it right up. At 86, Saturday, Sunday, lots of sunshine. It's going to be warm this weekend. Humidity's going to stay in check, so those mid-80s are going to feel pretty nice. Then Monday, Tuesday, we'll be in the upper 80s, close to 90. It's going to be quite hot, but at least the humidity's in check until the middle of next week. After that, though, it's going to feel like summer.
Great. I like those numbers there. Hope you all have a great weekend. Thanks for watching News 2 Midday.
We'll see you next week.